Good afternoon, guys. It's Darren from Jace Media, and this afternoon in the chair is enigmatic wildman, rocker extraordinaire, Ginger from Ginger and the Wildhearts. Good afternoon, buddy. How are you?
Hello, hello. Very, very good. Ginger and the Wildhearts. I like that. I'll tell the rest of the guys that's our new name.
Yeah, just say that's it, because obviously you're the lead man, so you get all the plaudits.
I'm the only one that can't be sacked.
Yes, unless you sack yourself.
I've tried. Doesn't work.
So how are you? How is life treating you?
Really well, really well. We just did the first Sinners gig the other day, Ginger Wildheart and the Sinners, and that was great. That was at Beautiful Days Festival. Lovely to play our first gig with someone. You know, it's been a long time since I played a first gig with anyone. You know, when you're playing a bunch of songs you've never played live before, you don't know how it's going to go, but you got that nerves, that butterflies that unfortunately evaporate after the first gig. But that was great. I'm currently writing or searching for material for a new solo album. The writing thing comes afterwards. You just get loads of ideas first of all. So I'm in that kind of shopping and sifting stage. We are almost ready to go on tour. So it's obviously always a little chaotic because it's the Wildhearts, but that's the way it's always been and always will be. But we're really looking forward to going on tour. Album's coming out very, very soon. And then the Sinners album comes out in March. So I've got loads of things to be happy about.
What's going on, yeah. And how were you through lockdown? Did you do a lot through lockdown? Did you find inspiration? Because a lot of people that I've spoken to have said, I haven't picked up a guitar for months, I haven't done this. But I guess people are different, you know, when they find inspiration to go, I need to write, or I need to be creative.
Well, I approached lockdown like pretty much everyone, and just decided it would be good to drink for breakfast every day. And that was the first couple of months taken care of. And then I realized that the Wildhearts needed an album and the Sinners needed a second album. And also got the label, so we were releasing stuff as well. So I've kept myself really busy writing, recording, releasing, and keeping myself in shape. I like everyone, I plowed into hedonism like it was a new world until I realized that you can't do that because you get in trouble. And I got in trouble with some people that landed me in a little bit of bother. And I realized that I wasn't going to go to jail. I decided that I was going to get my shit together and get fit and healthy, and have been doing for a while. And I feel fantastic. I feel great. And it's, you know, every day is its own little movie.
Yeah. I kind of think, Ginger, the thing is that people will always associate Ginger and the Wildhearts as a crazy bunch of hoodlums who just like to cause as much shit as possible. But you know what? I think when you've said, you know, lockdown gives you another perspective, you know, and you think, you know, do I want to be pissed every day? Do I want to be causing trouble? You know, because people will expect that, you know, and I guess it's good that, you know, you think I want to be fit, and, you know, because you're going on tour and you kind of don't want to think I feel like shit every day, you know, trudging myself around the country, you know, so that there is good points, bad points to that.
Well, I can't go on tour unfit. You know, I've done it before in the past, obviously, but now at my age, I can't go up there at 30 years old and for people to say, "Oh, he's past it." I don't want people to even question my age. Just that, you know, I should be up there. It's a personal thing with me. I need to be, you know, doing the best that I can possibly do. Otherwise, I wouldn't feel good charging anyone money to come and experience it. Also, I've got CJ in the band who keeps me on my toes because he's always staying fit and he bounces around the stage like someone a quarter of his age. So you don't want to be the useless one next to him. So I've got that to contend with, and you know, the music that we play, there's no ballads.
it's
in
high
there.
octane rock and roll. You know, that's the
Yeah.
thing. And I guess you're right that when we started speaking just before we came on air, that, you know, the new normal is 25, 50, 100 people. And you want to be at the top of your game, you know, because these guys have paid 20, 25 quid to come and see you. If you're stoating about, they're thinking, why did I pay money for this? So I guess you're right that you want to be at the top of your game because you want people to remember the show that you put on.
No, well, we're all a paycheck away from unemployment. Let's face it. You go and do and provide some shitty shows and look like you can't be bothered, and they'll just be justifiably encouraged to go somewhere else and spend the money. And I wouldn't blame them. Plus, it's a time where I don't want people to think that we're just charging into this without any preparation. We're taking it very seriously. We're taking vaccination very seriously. I know the venues are. I want people to be safe. I want this to be a COVID-free zone, and I want people to go and enjoy themselves and come away going like, didn't catch anything. It was really well policed. I trust the Wildhearts, and I'll go to see them again. Yeah. And if you fuck that up, then you, like I say,
if you fuck it up, Ginger, that's your livelihood. Because if you catch COVID, or one of the band catch COVID, or some of the patrons catch COVID, people will go, I ain't going to that show again. I ain't going to that way. So I think you're right, and I think it's now that we're coming out of kind of lockdown, I think that's the points to look for. We want everybody to be safe, because it is it's a money maker, and if we can't perform, we're going to lose money. So you've got to be that way.
Well, money, but more important, reputation. I mean, if you start getting a bad reputation now, I mean, there's been times where people have managed to still drag a career along with a shitty reputation, but I think those days are over, and again, justifiably so. If you start getting a bad reputation, you're just chucking things together. There's no safety for the audience. There's no concern about their welfare. You don't deserve a job. The whole thing about it's just rock and roll. Fuck that.
I think you're right. I think it's changed. And I'll tell you, the last time that I saw you was in Glasgow at the Kelvin Grove Bandstand when you played with Gun and Terror.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was great.
Because you were flying straight out to Japan.
That was the hottest day in the history of Glasgow, wasn't it?
Yeah. I've never seen something like it. You're like, everybody was wearing shorts. You're thinking, Christ, you're going to a show and you're wearing shorts. What the fuck's all that about?
It was amazing. I've never seen so many red heads in my life, including mine. It was amazing. Being in a room full of burnt matches.
Yeah, but that was a fantastic show. It was a real rock and roll. Terror Vision coming on, turning the stage up. You guys were incredible. You were just off the chart.
I've always said it's hard to have a bad gig in Glasgow. It's impossible to have a bad gig in Glasgow because it's still the loudest, maddest crowd in the world. I think.
Yeah.
That was no different, and that was a bunch of people that not all of them knew who we were. There was a lot of people that hadn't seen us before, and they're still exactly the same reaction as Glaswegians tend to give us.
But I will say though, Ginger, when you guys left the stage, lots of people left.
Really?
Yeah. And that's nothing against any of the performers. I guess it's just it's testament to your following, And there was I was in the audience, and you see lots of kids with Wildheart t-shirts on, and obviously being led by their parents, and they're going, "Yeah, we're going to a Wildheart show." And as soon as you left, and they were preparing for the last band to come on, lots of people get up and left because
sure they didn't just go and look for some shade.
No, they were like, "No, we've seen," and I think what it is, we're in Glasgow, fuck that, But I guess it was just because they came to see you guys, and I think there is gigs and shows where bands will come to see the opener and not see the main band, or they'll come to see the main band who are on last, and it could be you, and they'll come and fill up the venue for the other two participants. But I did find that strangely satisfying that, you know, you came on stage, you played your, I think it was about 50-minute set, you blew everyone away, and everybody's like, wow, what a show, what a set. And then you went, yeah, and we have to leave here and go straight to the airport because we're going to Japan. And people are like, fuck, you've driven all the way up to Glasgow and then you're going to piss off and go to Japan. And that was just incredible as well because you put your heart and soul into that show. It was a real good show.
That's great. You know, it's great bill, great crowd. You know, I'd go to Glasgow for anything. You know, don't have to ask me twice. So, you know, whenever we get invited there, we're just like, yep. But even if we have to leave straight away to get on the flight.
Yeah. But I noticed that on the tour, there is no Glasgow or Edinburgh.
Well, we don't book the gigs.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I'm not even in charge of organisation within the band. I've resigned from that kind of emotional involvement, and I'm just there to sing the songs and connect with the crowd, and I'm happy with that job.
Yeah.
You know, as far as organisation, Rich and CJ are in charge of that now, and I've never been happier.
Let them do it, and I think that's good as well because it takes a lot of pressure off of you. You know,
well, lets me enjoy it. I get bogged down with the emotional attachments and the history and the problems and the recurring problems, and I take it on stage with me, and that's no good, and it's certainly not good enough for the crowd. And it happened at download, and after download, I had such a bad emotional response to that. I said, I'm going to change things now. I'm going to change things. I'm going to make my only priority to get on that stage, to perform to the best of my ability, and to connect with that crowd, and to maintain and guarantee that it's a fantastic show. And that's the only thing I'm going to do. And the rest of it, the organization, the booking, all the rest of it, I'm just backing out of all of that. Been doing it for years. I've been emotionally invested in this band for years. And there's a lot of ups and there's a lot of downs. I just want to flatline now and just concentrate on doing a great gig.
Yeah, concentrate on the music, I think, and leave the rest to someone else. Because
absolutely,
I think that gives the audience that, I think you're right, the idea that the musician is honing his craft. He's turning up, you know, he's getting the music out there, his voice sounds fantastic, the show is really tight, and then you get off and go, right, get me on a tour bus, I'm out of here. You don't have to worry about breaking down all the equipment, you don't have to worry about next travel arrangements. You do the thing you do best, and I think that's important.
Especially on this tour, because we can't even hang out. I mean, it might seem like a tour and it's a party and all that stuff, but it's not. It's an experiment. It's still a social experiment, and we hope we will endeavour to get it right. But we can't go and hang out in the bar. We can't be mixing with loads of people and then taking like some virus on the bus, and then we all have to go in quarantine and cancel the rest of the tour. And I'm not sure a lot of people. I've got a lot of friends who are disappointed they're not going to see me. I'm like, but I'm not coming for a jolly up. I'm coming to execute every single one of those dates, every single one of them. People have paid money to go see them all. They're all equally as important. You know, I'm not just going to go to Newcastle, hang out with my mates, take a bug back on the bus, and then we're all going to go fucking isolate for 10 days. Not going to happen.
Yeah, I kind of think now, I think what you're quite right. I think it's the business end of tour where you've got to make sure that you're doing the business. And I guess that point of view, I'm not hanging out anymore. It's just go on, do an hour and 35 minutes, hour and 40 minutes. That's your time, really appreciate it. And go and make sure the next show is just as important and just as good. And I think that people will respect that more. You know, yes, it's nice to get a selfie with the band and get a beer, but I guess that, you know, I think what you said right at the start, those days are gone, you know, where you want, as much as you want to hang out, it's not that it's not possible, it's possible, but I guess it's keeping everybody safe. And I guess that means you four as well.
Well, without us four, there's no more gigs. We'd have to cancel the tour. And I don't. That's something that I'm not even. You know, I'm getting myself in the best shape I could possibly be, and that's not to just go on stage and do the show. That's to go on stage and do the tour. I want to do the first gig, the last gig. I don't want anyone to be disappointed. It's really, really important.
Absolutely.
You know, people are going to trust us.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Trust the whole machine behind it as well, that we're doing this properly.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the thing. You know, like I said, people are paying the money. They want to go to come to a good show. They don't want to come to a half-hour show that's just, like you said, used to be done, thrown together, and people go, yeah, it was really good, you know, but now it's all about the band, it's all about the shows, it's all about the audience, it's all about making sure it's right. And I think that's the right way to treat it, you know. And then possibly next year, when restrictions are eased, you can get back to a little bit of normality, maybe hanging out with some of the fans and stuff. But I guess at the moment, it's just doing your 12, 14, 16 date tour, make sure it's working right, make sure it's the best it can be, and then looking forward to the next time.
Absolutely, and we've got to see to it that there is going to be next time.
Yeah, absolutely. So, onto the album. It's like honest to God, it's like a rock and roll party from the first to the last. And I must say, when I got Sleep Away, and Matt said to me, "It's not for the faint-hearted," and I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." And I stuck it on, and I think, "Wow, this is really dark. It's a dark, dark track with, you know, with the accompanying crazy video to go with it." You know, and it just, I think
it's not actually a dark track. The video's dark. I think you could put that video to any song in the world, and it would still be a great video. But it's not a lot to do with the song.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you pull songs from an album before people have heard the album. You kind of get this you know,
section
not accurate. The opinion that they have of the song isn't in context. So it's a bit like, you know, looking at someone's finger and going, "Oh, that's a good looking person," you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But you know, I listened to the
song.
Yeah, it's a fantastic song. It's really a thought-provoking song, you know, when you listen to it. And you know, as I say, from start to finish, 21st Century Love Song, Boss, straight out of the gate, you know, and then into Remember These Days, and I really love Remember These Days. It's a fantastic track, you know, and then you get the splitter, and you think, wow, it gets, for me, it kind of builds and gets heavier as it goes into the album, you know, and it's a roller coaster, you know. You've got your heavy rasping guitars, and you've got thundering drums, you get great melodies, and it's just a really well put together album, you know. I was lucky enough to get it from Matt about 4 or 5 days ago, and I did the review. I don't know if you've seen the review yet. I don't know if it's been passed to you.
No, I don't tend to look at reviews. I don't like them.
No, right, okay.
No.
Is that just through choice that you just kind of, you're there to make the music and then people make up their own mind?
It's just, you know, it's you know, critics are entitled to their opinion, but I'm a music fan. I collect a lot of music, and if I listened to critics, I wouldn't listen. My favorite albums would be a lot different. So you know, I'll tend to get into a band and buy the albums that I like the cover of, and then I'll listen to the stuff before I go and read what the reviews said about it. And 9 times out of 10, my favorite albums are the critics' least favorite albums, and vice versa. So if someone likes the album, great, whoever they are, whether they're a critic or a buyer. Someone doesn't like the album, then no big deal. You know, it's not nothing personal, unless it gets personal.
Absolutely.
You know, it's none of my business really what people think of it. My job's done. It's public access now.
Yeah, you've made the album, and it's time for you just to sit back and I guess that'll be with the sales of the album as well, that what people enjoy. But I guess that Ginger and the Wildhearts have a really good reputation of making quality music and catchy tunes that people can really resonate to. So I guess that's the like you said, that's your job done. You've made the album. You can now stand back, and I guess it's when you go on tour, the amount of people who are singing the songs that, you know, you've written and recorded.
That's the best thing about playing live new songs, is that you don't know what people are going to do. You don't know which ones they're going to go mental for. You don't know which parts they're going to sing out. It's always great fun to play new songs and go, oh, that's what you do to this one. Okay, recognize that. Unless you play Glasgow and everyone sings and you go like, oh, everyone sings the chorus and then nowhere else sings it. Yeah. And you're like, Glasgow again, isn't it? Yeah, but it's great when people join in. But I mean, that's the difference between making a record, which you make a record for you, you know, you're writing it about your experiences, and then, but you play gigs for them, you know. Yeah, so it's a completely different sport as far as I'm concerned, you know. It's but yeah, I can't wait to see what people do. I mean, I as a writer, I can't wait to see which parts people pick up on. You know, that's going to be my popcorn moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like this, do you? Okay.
And I think you can get, when you do the shows and you're a couple of shows in, you get to you figure out which songs are the fans' favourites and what resonates.
Which ones don't work. That's always the thing about new songs, is the ones that you think are going to go down great, they're going like, oh, I don't think they liked it, you know. Yeah. You judge the rest of the tour accordingly, start, you know, chopping songs out and adding songs in, and then, you know, halfway through you get a good set list. So I think, you know, I always like playing them first few gigs because they're going to get a set list that no one else is going to get. Like 2-3 gigs into the tour, you're going to get rid of so many songs. So I like them first gigs, you know. But it's been that long since I've been on stage. I think I'm not going to like the first gigs any more than the
middle of the last gigs. Yeah, absolutely.
They're all going to be religious moments. I'm just going to be like, I'm going to be sitting on the stage and everyone's going, don't leave, talk to me.
I guess so the thing is that when you first walk out on stage in your first show, you know, the feeling you'll get, the goosebumps of the interaction of the crowd. And I guess you can think, I've missed this and I'm really glad that we've got that reception. And then you can launch into the first track, whatever it may be on the set list. And I think the reaction from the crowd will let you know that they're glad to see you. Do you know what I mean?
I hope they're glad to see us. We've been away for a while.
Yeah, I think, you know, I think that's the thing. But then again, like last night when we were at the show last night, there were 25 people, and you kind of think it's a shame for the band, but do you know what? They had such a great time. They just went on stage and they smashed it, you know, an hour and 10, 15 minutes, and they came off and they were like, what a show. Really enjoyed it, you know, glad that we came out. And I think that's just the thing, you know, that you want to get on stage and you want to just rock out and then come back off and know that tomorrow you're going to do it all again.
Well, especially if you're playing in Scotland, you know, 25 Scottish people is equivalent to about 55 English people in it, you know, as far as noise is concerned and involvement. You know, you guys can really get involved.
I think Scottish Glaswegian crowds, they love their music. They love a wee tipple, as you know. But I guess it's just, you know, and I guess it's just that they love the fact that you're coming, or a band is coming north of the border to play for them in the garage or the cat house or the Badland, and you know, and they're just going to have a brilliant time, and they know that you're going to have a brilliant time because you're going to get the reaction from the mad crazy Scottish crowd because they love.
So we're not playing Glasgow on this tour?
No,
we're not playing Glasgow.
Or Edinburgh, you're doing Stirling, and then you're doing Aberdeen.
There's got to be a logic behind that. We must be playing them ones later in the year or something. Then there's got to be some logic.
Because I'm thinking, I thought we could go and see the show, and then I'm thinking, hold on a minute, you're not in fucking Glasgow or Aberdeen, Edinburgh, you're in Stirling and Aberdeen. But as you say, there must be a reason for it. Maybe you couldn't get booked. There's maybe another band on somewhere in Glasgow or Edinburgh, Ginger, you know. So, but hopefully we'll get to see you.
At least you've got to get. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful places in the world to travel. So you know, I think it's good for people to get out, travel around Scotland.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, you know, we've been up in St Andrews, and we've been into Inverness, and we're in Edinburgh, and I guess parts of the pandemic kind of lead you to do, let's go and do a staycation. You know, let's go to different parts and you think about it. You know, for Glasgow, more so, an hour and a half outside of Glasgow, you're next to the beautiful countryside, St Andrews. 2 hours, you're up in Inverness, and an hour you're in Edinburgh, you know, and there's so many beautiful places to look at. And I guess that's, like you say, that's a nice thing about it. You go do a bit of traveling, you know, go to another city. And it's great, you know, it's just nice to be here. It's great to be chatting to you today. You know, I was looking forward to it. As I say, after reviewing, I reviewed the 3 singles and I reviewed the album. And Matt saying, "Oh, yeah, Ginger's looking forward to chatting." And it's just good. I think this is a real good part of the job, that you get to chat about normal things, you know, and not just rock and roll. You talk about family life and stuff, and it gives people, I think, an insight into Ginger, what he's like as a person, what he's doing, and I think that's really cool as well. You're not just going, "I'm this and I'm that, and I don't want to do stuff." You want to get out there. You want to be a normal person who just does his day job, goes out and rocks out, and I guess that will come across really well in the interview, that, you know, you're just a normal bloke, you know, who is in a band, who just loves to go out and perform, and I think that's fantastic.
With a nice flat and a nice dog. And where's my dog? A nice
Where's
flat
your
and a nice
dog?
dog. My dog's went missing.
Maybe she's camera shy.
No way. She's such a poser. She loves it. She loves the attention.
It's like his dad, camera shy.
Oh my God. Come here. Say hello. There. Oh, no. Oi, mush. There. Where you going? Maggie, come here. Hey, come here. Hey.
Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that. Look, Daddy's girl.
Oh, my baby.
Daddy's girl.
My reason for living, that one. You. Oh.
So what's your plans for the rest of the day and the rest of the week? What are you rehearsing?
I'm doing interviews all day. I'm sitting here doing interviews, drinking coffee, and at some point I'm going to have some food and walk the dog, and then come back and do some more interviews. That's my
all day today.
Day.
Wow.
It's a good job. It's the best job in the world. The best day the worst day as a musician is better than the best day as a plumber. Let's face it.
Yeah. I guess it's the thing that
you just went off. I can't hear you now. Why have you gone off?
What have you done?
There you are.
What have you done? I guess the thing is, though, Ginger, it's like, you're right. You know, being a rock star is a great job. You know, you get to do something you love. You don't wake up and go, "Do you know what? I hate my job." You know, you get up and you go, on a tour bus, I'm traveling around and I'm doing what I love to do. And people go, "Thank fuck, I saw Ginger, he was brilliant." You know, rather than going, "Oh, I can't be bothered tonight." You know, and I guess that's what's good about it as well, that you're doing a job you love. And you probably, if I'm probably right, you wouldn't change it for all the money in the world.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I think any musician would rather have longevity than cash, because you can spend cash. You can spend any amount of cash that you get, and you can use up your fame. But getting a good reputation and having a seemingly a career that will last as long as people are alive, and you're doing stuff that's got quality. I mean, that's the dream. That's what I always wanted when I was a kid, was to make music for the rest of my life. And I've got a lot of friends who would love to do this. They're happy, you know, some of my musician friends are just happy to play cover versions in pubs, and I get it. You know, it's an absolute privilege. But to be able to be a songwriter and, you know, having your own label, you know, having a great fan base of people that support you and want you to do well and continue, that is the dream.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? And there's a lot of people, you know, get fame and get fortune. There's very few cases of it actually being good for them. But there's hardly any cases of it lasting.
Yeah.
They're just here today and gone later today. Lasting in this business really is, I don't know, I know I wouldn't say it's a lottery. I wouldn't say it, I'm lucky because I've designed it like this. I release records all the time. So, people have been able to support me. I haven't, taken 10 years off and, went and spent me money going around the world. I've been in studios and I've been grafting and crafting songs. So I'm glad that I still get to be able to do this. But I show no signs of slowing down. I've got no writer's block. I get fucking songs coming in from all angles, all areas, about all sorts of subjects. Still excited about, tomorrow. Still excited about the next album that I'm going to make. Fantastic.
And I kind of guess you're right. I kind of guess you're right though, Ginger. I think it's, I guess your musical journey is what you make of it. Like you say, you could do, 10 years and make some money and go, I'm going to sit back and chill out. And then people go, oh, Ginger's fell off the planet. But I guess the fact that you're still making music, you're still producing, you're still writing, and you still want to tour, there's the hunger is still there. And I guess that's what's good about being a musician who wants to be a musician.
Absolutely. Just being creative in any way, having an outlet to be creative and to just get your thoughts out or your moods, or if you're having mental issues, to be able to get that all out in song. I mean, that's a fucking pot of gold right there without anything else. But for that music to go and connect to someone and they come back and say that this song has had an effect on them, well, that's better than a job. That's bigger than a job. It's a service. And that's, very few of us get to be, professionally of service and being able to feed my family and feed my dog.
Yeah.
Keep the electricity on.
Keep the roof over your head. Absolutely. So what did the boys think of the album? Did they love what they produced?
I have no idea. I never know what the Wildhearts are thinking from one day to the next. I'm sure they like it. I'm sure some of them aren't thinking about it at all. I'm sure some of them have got different things on their mind. I'm sure I think they're all proud of it in their own way. We're four very different people that respond different to things.
That obviously makes it work though. I think that brings the unit together.
No, I think we work in spite of that, not because of that.
Yeah, good answer. Well, listen, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for chatting to us. I know you've got lots to do today. The album is fantastic. Pass on my regards to the guys. It's a cracking piece of work. I will hopefully catch you, maybe Stirling, I think, hopefully, 21st of September.
The Isle of Islay. Let's get a gig there. That's where I want to go.
Make that work. Just, say to your man.
I'm going to do that one. I'm going to get a solo gig, in the Lefroy distillery.
And I'm sure they'll be happy to have you.
We'll work for whiskey.
That'll be your payment. Just cut the crates of Lefroy and then just come back down the road.
It's expensive. It'll be worth it.
Absolutely. Now listen, this is Darren from Jace Media in conversation with Ginger, talking all things music, lockdown, and future touring commitments. Saying thank you so much for your time. Great to chat to you, and hopefully we'll see you on the road.
See you soon, mate.
Thanks, Ginger. Take it easy, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.